No one has more state pride than New Mexicans. The vibrant culture, bold flavors, unique history, and dramatic landscapes under our Zia sun are like no other. And the people of New Mexico are a rare breed. As diverse as we are, together we breathe life and soul into this high desert land. A land that promises adventure. I'm Michael Newman, and as your host, I'll be taking you with me as I seek out the best the land of enchantment has to offer.
New Mexico, it feels like home to me. It feels so true. It's time well spent when I spend it with you.
Thanks for watching another episode of New Mexico True Television. I'm your host, Michael Newman. In this episode, we're going west, way west. Few places hold more wonder and wildness than the western pocket of our state. From the mystical Badlands to the sacred homeland of the Navajo, the San Juan River Valley and all of its offerings, and a sanctuary where rescued wolves have found their forever home. Adventure abounds. Just over 2 hours west of Albuquerque off New Mexico 53 and a few miles down the gravel road BIA 120 is Wild Spirit Wolf Sanctuary. This sanctuary rescues wild canines from all over the world, providing them lifetime refuge in natural habitats where they receive the utmost care and enrichment. And for humans, they offer several tours and excursions to bring visitors up close and personal with these magnificent creatures. With more than 60 wolves, wolf dogs, and other related species, there are plenty of personalities to get acquainted with on your visit, many of whom I will be meeting today on my Canine Encounter Tour.
So Michael, we're gonna go in, and what I'd like you to do is just go straight in and sit on one of those logs.
Okay.
And then the kids are just gonna come all around you.
They're patiently waiting some
Yes.
attention. I'm coming to give y'all some loving.
Hi, babies.
All right.
Hi, babies.
The Australian dingoes are the first animals I'm introduced to, and I'm immediately surprised by how socialized and friendly they are.
This is the mom of the 3 boys that are in here. This is Kuyong.
Kuyong. Hey, Mama.
She's quite the social animal. That's Glacier behind you trying to steal your hat.
Hey, Glacier.
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama.
Oh,
yes. Oh, kissy, 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 kissy.
They're all so lovey.
They're super well socialized. Now, their behavior is more like a coyote than a wolf.
Okay.
They do live in a family unit, but mostly by the matriarch of the family is the one who runs the show.
Come here.
Mama, want a treat? Come on, Mama. There she is. Come on, Mom. Come on, Mama. Oh, did Uluru get some? Oh, look at Aussie.
Now you're all friendly.
Oh, yeah.
As affectionate as these guys are, undoubtedly, the way to their heart is the jerky Leighton gave me. They became fast friends.
So are you ready to meet a little red fox?
Yes. Romeo at first seems an unlikely inhabitant here, but Leighton does inform me he is in fact a member of the canid family.
Go right through here. So, what do you think?
Well, he's super gentle. This is great.
Is that amazing?
Well, it's pretty wild to think I'm petting a fox right now.
Yeah.
Leighton somehow managed to pull me away from Romeo to continue with the tour.
You even sit?
He likes you.
Oh, man.
All right, so now I want to introduce you to 5 of the rarest dogs in the world.
Wow.
These are called the New Guinea singing dogs from the island of Papua New Guinea.
Wow.
And hopefully they're going to sing for you because I want you to hear this awesome sound that hardly anyone ever gets to hear. Oh, that's nice. Come on in.
Hey guys. Oh, they're so slow. They're so small,
They're
but
tiny. This is a wild dog. Now they're island dogs, that's why they're small.
okay.
And they're descendants of the Asiatic wolf.
Oh.
And they're only found on the island of Papua New Guinea, although they haven't been seen in 2 decades.
Really?
Now these kids here were all victims of a hoarding incident in Pennsylvania.
Thank you for kisses.
So
Thank you for
this is
kisses.
Bono and Reba.
Oh, Bono and Reba.
Now you're hearing their most common sound.
Mm.
And then of course the song.
And what does that usually signal? Just when they're excited?
The song or
The song.
Yeah, the song is definitely when they're excited for food, communication, of course, just to sing.
When our serenades and snuggles are through, we make our way to the wolves. I cannot put to words the feeling of being in an enclosure with a wolf, getting down on his level. I honestly don't know where else I could have this experience and feel safe in doing so. And last but not least, is my meet and greet with one of the sanctuary's ambassadors, Storm.
So Stormy and his whole family we rescued from a breeding mill in Oregon. We got his entire family, mom and dad and all the kids, when he was about 19 days old. So we fed his brothers and sisters by the bottle, and they're all quite social to me and one other person here, but nonetheless, still a wild animal, just socialized to humans. And just so if you didn't know, it always tastes better when your feet is in it.
You're right. Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah,
That's a full-bred wolf right there.
this is the real deal.
Entranced by my canine encounter, I opt for a feeding tour too.
Each of us will grab a bucket.
I'm hand feeding a wolf.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
okay.
Don't worry. I'll give you
I'm
this.
reassured when I hear my first feeding is with my new friend Storm. And of course, Layton has given me very specific instructions on how to feed this raw piece of chicken to the wolf safely.
All right.
Slide it right on through.
There you go,
Go.
buddy.
How did you feel? A little rush?
Yeah, a little adrenaline going, and then he like snaps at it, and then that's it.
Yeah, but he's very gentle still.
No, he was.
With Stormy digesting his chicken dinner, we attend to some of the other hungry kids.
So one wolf's gonna go long, one wolf's gonna go short. Okay?
Okay.
We're gonna go long and short. One right after the other, not simultaneous.
Okay.
Here you go for it, man.
Down. Sit. Hut.
And short. There you go.
There you go.
I think it's safe to say I've made a few new canine friends today. Consider renting one of the decked out cabins at the sanctuary to spend more time with the canines and in the surrounding Zuni Mountains. Don't miss neighboring El Morro National Monument with historic inscriptions carved into its towering sandstone bluff. You can even sign up to hike with the wolves and a guide to this destination. And for lunch, grab a bite at the Ancient Way Cafe just down the road. Up next, we go where few men have gone before. 153 miles northwest of Albuquerque off US 550 and County Road 7950 is a dirt road just beyond the entrance to Chaco Canyon. This road will lead you to Hoodoo Badlands. This remote landscape speckled with sagebrush, pinon juniper, and patches of grasslands gives no hint to the enclave of hoodoos in its midst, which is what my fellow travelers and I are seeking out. Traversing the rocky hillsides, you'll need to carve your own trail, for the isolation and undeveloped nature of this place, which adds to its mystery and allure, also means you won't find a trailhead or any markers along the way. That's why on this expedition, I feel lucky to have my friend Ed leading the charge with his wife Nikar. A local with a background in archaeology, Ed's what I would call a pioneer of this territory, having explored and documented many of the formations that lie before us.
It's crazy. You can kind of see the level that it once was all the way around. It's kind of like
Well, you have
everything's super even.
a silt clay deposit, and then at some point in time during the geologic formation, you end up getting a sandier deposit. And then later on, you get more of a clay deposit, different episodes of deposition.
Wow.
It doesn't take an expert, though, to appreciate the magnificence of the Badlands. Towering hoodoos set against a backdrop of soft pink and gray hues, melding with reds and browns is something to behold.
Coming up to one of the named hoodoos, I call it the chipped bull.
Since Ed is virtually the only person to have documented this landscape, he's had the privilege of naming the hoodoos, and I can see where he finds his inspiration, coining names for formations akin to flying saucers, orbs hovering overhead, and one of my personal favorites, the Three Stooges. It's not unlike defining the patterns you see in the clouds above. Perhaps more inspiring, though, are the photographic qualities of this landscape.
Every time I come out here, though, I make sure I get a photograph of it because the lighting's different. Sometimes I have clouds. The first time I was out here, it was like a rainstorm, and you could see the dark clouds behind it.
Endless angles, shapes, and abstractions, matched with obscure silhouettes and a diversity of textures, reveal themselves to you through the lens, reflecting this uncanny and extraordinary place. A land meant for explorers, our very own frontier. Be sure and check the weather before heading to Liebrook. The roads may be difficult or impossible to drive. Not to mention the hiking itself will be slick. Bring your own water and snacks. There are no services here in no man's land. And cell phone service is limited. Come prepared with maps and navigation. And now from the pages of New Mexico Magazine. Situated in the heart of Aztec on North Main Avenue is the Aztec Museum and Pioneer Village, just under 3 hours northwest of Albuquerque on US 550 North. This museum and the 12 buildings comprising the Pioneer Village provide a unique glimpse into life in the San Juan Basin during the early 20th century. Being able to step inside the buildings and examine the historical items housed in each one feels like walking back in time to the Aztec of yesteryear. Remnants and relics from this area's early settlers are displayed in such a manner so it feels as if the people once inhabiting these spaces perhaps just stepped away momentarily, possibly returning at any given moment. You get a real sense of what it felt like to sit in an early 1900s schoolhouse, and what goods you may have found on the shelves of the General Mercantile, or what the accommodations of a train caboose looked like. You may feel humbled upon entering the modest log cabin of an early pioneer, or curious about the career demands of the town physician and local sheriff. And you can almost hear the echoes of chatter in the old school barbershop. For here, history is alive and well, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better presentation of life in the early days of the American West. Sharing this sentiment are two chaps I met outside the general store, Jimmy and Jacob.
So Jimmy, can you briefly describe this treasure you have here?
Well, Aztec was actually founded in 1890. We are trying to get as many of the buildings and exhibits as we can that represent that turn of the 20th century period. All of the buildings were either built on site as replicas of existing buildings, or in some cases, such as the blacksmith shop there, they were actually disassembled, moved in here, reassembled by a very dedicated group of volunteers. Example is our little chapel that came from Cedar Hill. They disassembled it and...
Every piece of it?
Yes. Wow. Reassembled it, in fact brought in the pews, the pulpit, all those things are original from the Cedar Hill Church. And we actually have weddings there now.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of commitment, man. I'll tell you. It's like taking apart Lego pieces and putting it back together.
Yeah,
make sure you have every little piece.
With old wood that might be half rotted. Yeah, that's true.
That's amazing. So how is this kind of reflective of what life was like then?
So Aztec started out primarily as an agricultural community. Of course, the Animas River flows right through Aztec, and that provided water for irrigation. It grew into a fairly sizable settlement within a matter of less than 10 years. It was the hub of San Juan County.
Jacob, you have been here, or your family has been here for how many generations?
I'm a fifth generation.
Fifth generation. There's not many people that can say that they know where their great,
Grandparents came from.
Right.
Yeah, we're here. We settled here in 1906. We're cattle and ranching, and we still do that to this day.
Right. So has there been a lot of heirlooms and relics from that time that you've seen?
That's why I like the museum so much. It just kind of puts me back into the past, to how it used to be.
Right.
And that's the gift that this has to offer.
Do not miss the hand-carved wooden cyclorama of the Pecos West. Nearly 18 feet in diameter with wonderful music and narration, this item is a gem like no other I have seen. Look for the mock nuclear fracking device from the Gas Buggy project in the oil and gas exhibit. And if you get hungry, grab a bite at Atomic Espresso and Bistro across the street. For more great stories like this from New Mexico Magazine, visit newmexico.org. Stay tuned for a trek into a treasure trove of ancient petroglyphs.
Follow the Green Chili Cheeseburger Trail and the Breakfast Burrito Byway at newmexico.org.
In the very northwestern corner of our state, more than 4 hours from Albuquerque, and 19 miles south of Junction Highway 64 and County Road 4450, you'll follow signs across Largo Wash to get to Crow Canyon. The vast Largo Canyon region is the traditional homeland or dineta of the Navajo people. The beauty and striking elements of its landscape, combined with the area's sacred history, make for a compelling destination. And its biggest draw is Crow Canyon, where my fellow travelers and I are headed today. The mystical significance of the dineta is reflected in the canyon walls and mesas, having the greatest concentration of Navajo defensive sites and rock art in the Southwest, so earning its place on the National Register of Historic Places. It never ceases to amaze me the number of treasures we have in every pocket of our state, and this canyon is no exception.
So here's the main panel right here. It's almost solely...
With his background in archaeology, Ed is able to identify many of the motifs, the religiously significant cornstalks with turkey and human footprints among them. We continue on the footpath to seek out the next panel, moving along the sandstone rock faces that have served as both canvas and mediums for communication and ceremony over the last 5 centuries.
And then we're coming out to one of the most impressive panels in Fort Canyon is right here.
Man.
Yeah, we got a female cornstalk coming out of the cloud god.
That's phenomenal. The detail on these are like somebody did that yesterday.
Yeah, it's preserved very well. Evidence of Hispanic contact. Because what you end up getting is now you get 1, 2, 3 horses with people riding horses.
Yeah.
And then up top we have a dog figure, which is known as the Chaos. And then we got some more kachina and dancers down below here, along with the hourglass of the twin warrior god.
It's like almost
a nice
perfectly symmetrical, like it's a sundial? Yeah.
It's a perfect sundial.
Man. Yeah, it kind of progressively got better and better and better.
Yeah.
And then you get to this.
They worked their way up the canyon and their artwork was getting much cleaner and sharper and crisper.
That's really impressive.
Nice artwork.
Yeah.
Stunning, in every sense of the word. And we've only scratched the surface. When you come, take the time to check out the neighboring Big Warrior panel. A high-clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle is recommended for the rough road leading into the canyon. And come prepared, as there are no services here. Finally, do not attempt to cross Largo Wash when water is present. Up next, when all you want is some R&R and a nice glass of wine, look no further. Sign up to receive monthly newsletters about events and happenings around the state at newmexico.org. And now, here's another New Mexico True Treasure.
Hi, I'm Eric Thompson, and Pie Town is a New Mexico True Treasure. What do I like about Pie Town? Well, the pie, obviously. I think it's the amount of love that goes into the pies and just the amount of love shown by the people of, Pie Town. They have one true love, and it's pie, and it shows in everything they do, from the way they serve it, to the way they bake it, to the way they love talking about it when you're with them. There's certainly a special type of person who's willing to drive 3 hours off the interstate to go get a slice of pie and kind of enjoy the trek out there. It is fairly remote, fairly in the middle of nowhere, not someplace you're gonna stumble on by accident. It's definitely a place that you set out to, and a true destination for pie.
Three hours northwest of Albuquerque and under 30 miles outside of Farmington, on New Mexico 511 North, is Wines of the San Juan. Set in the valley of the San Juan River, under cliffs of sandstone casting a warm orange hue, is a picturesque and peaceful vineyard. The subtly verdant nature of this locale lends itself well to the grapes of the award-winning family-run Wines of the San Juan. This winery and tasting room are tucked within the Cottonwood Grove, where the Arnold family dog Purdy and her winged companions welcome you into their pastoral paradise. I, for one, was immediately seduced. Oh, and let's not forget the promise of some great wine. In the tasting room, you'll see the array of wines his grassroots operation has been cranking out, earning prestigious awards along the way. And on the patio, you'll find ample seating to savor them. Lucky for me, while I was meandering about, my friends Celeste and Corey grabbed us a table.
What do we have here?
We've got a couple of different wines for you. I'm bringing out the whites first. So what we're going to start off with is our Chardonnay.
Brittany certainly knows how to make an introduction. This lightly oaked Chardonnay with a hint of pear is a great opening number. But it was the Pinot Gris that really piqued my interest.
Some tangerine and lemongrass.
Tangerine, that's one of my favorite fruits, so.
Yeah, great then.
That's great.
Perfect.
At the mention of tangerine, my mind began racing with the possible pairings in cuisine. I'm thinking some pad thai, or maybe even a yellow curry. But I'd certainly have no problem enjoying it all on its own. Yes, the supple flavors of the wine and my lovely company are definitely lulling me into the right state of mind. But it was little Ruby, Brittany and the winemaker's daughter, that really stole my heart. Seriously, as if this place wasn't enchanting enough.
I brought our Cabernet, 2011 Cabernet.
Is it kind of full-bodied?
It's full-bodied, full-bodied, fruit forward. Every year, every vintage is different. So we kind of just like the grapes to do what they want to do, And we like to help bring out their best qualities. So that's what's going on.
They have individual personalities.
Yeah, exactly. None of our wines have any artificial colors or flavorings, so it's all true to the fruit is our style, true to the fruit.
I dig that.
Yeah.
True to the fruit.
Yeah, that's right. No other way.
So has this place been here for a while?
We have. We've been here since 2001.
Okay.
We started, and it was all just sagebrush, little rickety, half broken down for sale sign on the driveway, and David had been looking around for a place to grow grapes, found this. We've got the cliffs, we've got the river, and
Right.
it kind of works. Yeah, we're fortunate away.
Especially like coming, going to Navajo Lake or going, fly fishing. This is a perfect contrast to that kind of experience. You're like,
Right.
okay, late afternoon, time to relax.
We see a lot of the wives come over when their husbands are fly fishing. They come over and they play the swings and read a book.
You're in the perfect location for that.
Yeah, it's perfect.
This is like comparable to like Georgia O'Keeffe country, I would say.
right.
Like the cottonwoods, the peacocks, the cliffs, like
Yeah.
you guys have all the qualities of that here. So.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
So do you have a cot or something I can stay in?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just
Just
we
keep
can
the
make it
wine
work.
flowing though.
We'll find something. It will work out. We'll find
All
something.
joking aside, the girls convinced me to put off my nap to enjoy the on-site pond. Ultimately, the perfect spot to dig into the picnicking provisions we had packed. Already accustomed to the charm of the winery, it comes as no surprise to see other inhabitants of this place indulging in their own picnic on the banks of the pond.
There we go, guys.
Nothing like eating al fresco while sipping wine under the cottonwoods, the sun setting in the distance. One more reason we are known as the land of enchantment. In the summer months, come out on a Sunday for the winery's painting and wine events, and live music and catered dinners when the sun lowers in the sky. This is a family-friendly, come-as-you-are kind of place. All you need to do is unwind.
Thank you for coming along on our adventures through some of the more remote but amazing parts of our state, and hopefully inspired you to go west. And with that being said, what are you doing next weekend?